Hi everyone, and welcome to Life Creates Art. I am Shelley, and this is our very exciting edition of Christmas crafts. So this is our first video. There will be 3 videos. In this one, we are going to be doing 3 different crafts. We're going to be doing felt garland, and then twine orbs, and then ornaments 4 different ways. We're going to be doing abstract ornaments. We're going to be doing paint and shake, and then countdown, and then memory lane ornaments, and I'll tell you all about those. But before we get started, I want to take just 1 minute to talk to you about doing crafts with your family. Now, we're going to show just a couple of pictures of ornaments that we used to do with my family at Christmas time. We used to go to the craft store, and each of us got to pick a little craft, and we'd set it out on the dining room table. We'd all get to work on our own little craft, but I'm sitting here, I'm holding this one, but this was something we did last year with my family. But it was always such a wonderful thing to have these crafts, and I encourage you to have crafts out for your family. And so once we all get together, we're able to sit together and have fun and laugh, and sharing some pictures here of our family doing the craft together. And so we did sock puppets, and I shared this book. I had this book here which gave everybody some ideas of what they could do. I had felt, buttons, sequins, gems, of course, socks, and feathers, fabric, cardboard, pipe cleaners, googly eyes, and pom-poms and yarn. And it was all piled on top of the table, as you see in the picture. And everybody just had the day to create. And I actually made it really casual. It was Thanksgiving, but I made it really casual, had the food in the kitchen, and everybody just sat around on the floor and ate. And it was a wonderful time of family. And then we all gathered around and just created and laughed. So it's a wonderful time for you to spend with your family and laugh and continue to create. I want you to have that time with your family. So all of these things that we're doing here, these crafts, are things that you can do with your family. So let's get started with some felt garland. Okay, and welcome back. So felt garland. I have been seeing the last several years these long pieces of about 6 feet long garland in all different shapes, very, very colorful, and they usually run about $30 a piece. And they look like this. Now, my sons, my daughter would create these sort of things in kindergarten with construction paper. And I keep them still on our Christmas tree. I love them. I was with my mother-in-law just a couple of years ago, walking through Michael's, and she picked up about 3 of them and just dropped about $90 on something that looked very similar to this at Michael's. And I thought, I can't spend that kind of money when I can make something very, very similar. So at Target, actually, they have these blocks. They're about this size of felt. You can get felt at Michael's as well. So this is about 6 inches by 6 inches. And it's this big stack of just these delicious colors of felt. And what I did was I just took a scissors, and really I didn't measure at all, but I cut it just in strips of, I'm gonna just guesstimate, it's about 1 inch. So I cut them in about 1 inch strips, like this. There we go. And if this one was a little big, I would just cut that little strip and just get rid of it, like that. And so I ended up with all of these beautiful strips. And you can see right here, I have started already. Then I've got pom-poms. So what you're gonna need for this craft, obviously, are scissors and some felt. Again, you go to Target, you try to find that block of felt, or you go to Michael's and you find the felt yourself and choose your own colors. You don't have to have it multicolored. You can choose whatever colors you want. and then glue for your glue gun and your glue gun. But if you're gonna make this a family craft and you have children around, I burned my hand a couple of different times doing this. Be very, very careful, because you do have to kind of hold these closed as I'm going to show you. So be careful, because you will burn your fingers. Now, if there's children around, I suggest you get the tacky glue that is a quick dry. And that way you can just hold it down and just have them count, use it as kind of a game, and just say, hey, let's count to 10 or let's count to 15 every time we hold one down. Then, just to make it a little bit fun, I got these little pom-poms, and I got a couple of different sizes, the 2-inch and the 1-inch, to put just randomly in between whenever I feel like it. So obviously, we all know how to make these, but I am gonna make some for you just to show you that it is really, really simple and really fun. And this is something that you can do as sort of a Thanksgiving craft and have everyone make it, and make it for their own tree at home, and then bring it home and decorate their own tree with it. And it's really colorful and really beautiful. So we're gonna spend just about 30 seconds doing that. So I'm going to add a pom-pom here, and I want to show you how to do that. Again, the glue is very hot, and I just stick a pom-pom there and hold it. Hold it with my fingers. And then to start another one, which color do I want to use? I'm just going to use a blue or a red. Just to stop right here before we move on, you could also make thicker ones. I encourage you, you don't have to use the 1-inch, make thicker ones too. So you can add, maybe make it 1.5 inch and make thicker ones. Just whatever, play with whatever size you want. So going from the pom-pom, you're going to have to make a whole new circle. Now again, be very, very careful. This glue is hot. And if you do have little ones, and you have sort of a kids table and you want to do a craft for them, make construction paper. Do the felt one for the adults, and make have the kids have construction paper, because I still have my children's, and they are just so beautiful for our tree. Whoops. Okay, so now I'm going to put the glue on the top of my pom-pom. And then I'm going to lay this one right back on my pom-pom. Just like that. And then I start building from there, just like we do. Okay, so this is the felt garland, and it is going to look really beautiful on our tree. And now we're going to move on to the next craft, which is the twine orbs. All right, everyone, twine orbs. So these are just fun to leave around the house, or you can put lights in them and use them to light up your house for the holidays or just because. And now, things you'll need some glue. You'll need lots of glue if you're going to make multiple ones, or if you're just going to make a few, you'll just need a little small thing of glue, because really you're going to do half and half. You're going to do half water and half glue. And you're going to need some twine. You can also use yarn if you want to. I am just going to use twine to show you this, how to do this. And then if you want to, you can use glitter. I like glitter. Woo-hoo-hoo. You're going to need some water balloons. also, and something to contain your glue and your water, and of course something to stir it with. Some people will use a way to hold their orbs up high, hang them, that sort of thing. I just use wax paper to lay them, and then I will turn them about 12 hours into it to make sure that the bottom part, the glue on the bottom doesn't sit. So glue, twine, water, glitter if you need it, scissors. You'll need scissors, wax paper, balloons, and your cup and a spoon. I use a balloon pump because I cannot blow these up. And I used to be a clown, so I have my balloon pump anyway. And I will quickly make a balloon animal for you if you like. How about that? And voila, we have a little red dog. Okay, now we have to move on. Now we're going to take our balloon pump and we're going to blow up a couple of the water balloons. You want them fairly small because you want them round. So depending on how big you want them to be kind of round. The one example that I have for you that I did 24 hours ago is fairly large, just for example's sake, but I'm going to do one that is sort of round for you today. And we have our balloon. Now we're going to mix our glue. Don't need a lot of glue today because I am just doing one. So I'm going to pour some glue in. Show you how much I have in there. And I'm just kind of eyeing it, because you just want to thin it out, about half and half. Not an exact science here. It's not like acrylic pouring where it has to be pretty exact. This makes it easier to dip the string and the twine if it's a little bit thinner. And I'm going to pour a little more water, just a tad bit. Oh, that might have been too much. I may have to add a little more glue. We'll see. Get that mixed up really fast. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're pretty good, but you have to get all of the clumps out. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. Oh yeah, that is perfect. Now, what we want to do, I'm going to move my balloon pump here, is you want to pull off a lot of string, because you are going to be using quite a lot of string to wrap around your balloon. So I would start with quite a bit pulled off first. Okay, I'm going to start with that. Okay. Now I've got my end. I'm going to dip my end first. And I'm going to prop it up for you. Easier for you to see. And then I'm just going to drop the rest in. I'm going to keep my end out so that I don't lose that end. And it is messy. I like to get messy when I paint. My hands get messy. And I think it might be genetic. I don't know. My mother used to get, when she would paint, my mother was not an artist per se as far as painting canvas, but she would paint everything else. And when she painted walls and anything like tables or anything like that, she would end up with paint between her toes, and I don't know, she got paint everywhere. All right, so my balloon. Now, you are going to want to tie a little knot, just a light one, around the top of your balloon. And it doesn't have to be tight. The hands have a lot of glue on them. Okay, and then we're just going to start wrapping. Start going that direction first, and then we start moving other directions. This can tend to get a little bit clumpy in here, so just try to loosen it as you go. Make sure it doesn't get knotted. There we go. And just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. And you can pull off some of the, you can see I'm pulling off some of the glue as I go, not all of it. You don't want to squeeze too tight. It's not necessary that you get all of the glue off. If you're using colored yarn, don't worry, the color of the yarn will come through once the glue is dry. Okay, so I'm just going around and around and around, going back all different ways around the balloon. And once you're done with this, once it's wrapped, what you feel is going to be strong once it's dry, because you don't want to leave, if you leave a gap like this, that's not going to be strong once it's dry. So you want to be sure that you're covering all of those little gaps. And I think that that's going to be good. So now I can clip this off and then tuck in that little end and just let it sit. Now again, this has to sit for at least 24 hours. After about, there's a lot of glue on here, I'm going to try to wipe some of it off. After about 12 hours, I'm going to flip this. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to turn it over, because some of this glue is just going to gather. And some people find a way to use a way to string these up so they hang. And if you do that, then be sure that you have something underneath so that the glue has something to drip on. All right, so fortunately, I have one that has been drying for 24 hours, and I'm going to show you right now. Okay. So Sheldon decided he wanted to sit in my chair while I was getting everything ready. So he's going to join me for a little while, I think. Here's the orb that sat for 24 hours. As I said, it's a little bit bigger one. And what we're going to do, if Sheldon's going to help me here, would you like to help me? No? Okay, then get on down. There we go. So this is the orb. As you can see, it's nice and part, and I used a pink balloon underneath. And what we're going to do is we're going to pop the balloon underneath. And you can see how crunchy it is. It's kind of fun. And once you pop it, it just disintegrates underneath. Kind of fun. And you just get that balloon out and just pulls it out. Sometimes you have to kind of work out the balloon. If there's some glue still stuck, have to work the balloon out a little bit. Yes, Sheldon, I feel you at my feet. He still wants to be a part of the video. All right, so sometimes it just takes a little bit to get that balloon out. That's why I use some of my sculpting tools. And sometimes you have to clean it up a little bit. There's some extra glue. That's why I was kind of wiping off the glue from the other one. But otherwise, this looks really, really neat. And you can put a little hook. And I have to clean this up a little bit, tuck in that thing there and put a little hook and hang it up, use it as a little ornament. Or you can put lights in this. Now, I'll show you how to do that before I put some more glue on it and put some glitter on it. Okay, so then you can take these little orbs and just in the bottom part, you can stick a light in and make it part of your mantle. Stick a couple of lights in the base and make it a part of your mantle, and the orbs will light up, and just put them all across your mantle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this very, very quickly a glitter orb, if you would like. So we're going to just put some glue all over this. I think I'm going to make this an ornament. So I'm just going to sprinkle my favorite kind of glitter, which is kind of this iridescent glitter, all over this. And eventually this glue will, of course, become clear. So I'll have just this beautiful iridescent twine orb. It's going to be beautiful. And then I will put a light in there, and it's going to be beautiful. And I will show you a picture when it's done. So there you go. Twine orbs. Okay, everyone, and now we are starting with ornaments. Ornaments 4 different ways. So we're going to get started really quickly. We're going to start with abstract first. Abstract is using shapes and forms and colors and textures that do not necessarily represent external reality. And so I work with that a lot. I have 3 different kinds of ornaments. I have larger glass ornaments. I have smaller plastic ornaments if you have younger children. And then I have glass ornaments that are not clear. They're just white. I also have some ribbon here. I have glitter, and I have some hooks. I have put together about 3 different kinds of basically color clumps. And that's kind of what you want to do, is you want to get together your color palette with these and figure out what you want to paint, and then figure out your color palette. And then I have put together some basic paints for details, some basic black, and I've got some glitter glue, and I've got some gold glitter. And I'm going to show just a couple of ones that I have done as we go along for my family. And so ways to dry them, I've got some hooks hanging right above our head. They are candy hooks that I use as decoration. My kitchen is a candy store, and it's candy store kitchen. And so I use them to hang my little ornaments when they're dry. And then I use a little pot, and I've got these sticks that I take out the top of my ornaments and hang them, and I'll show you how to do this. And I just stick it in a pot and I hang it upside down. I will show you how to do that, and that's with these sticks right here that I just get at Michael's. And of course, scissors. You will definitely need something to protect your clothing, and then some paintbrushes, and then something to wipe your paintbrushes. I always recommend that you have 2 cups for water, one to clean your brush, the original brush, because once you clean your brush, that water is going to be dirty. Let's say you have black paint on your brush. You stick your black paint brush in that water is going to be filled with black paint. So then you want to stick it into the other one, which is going to be much cleaner water. And that way you know that that water is going to be the clean water, and you at least have 1 cup that's got some cleaner water. And that way the other brushes don't get too tainted. All right, so let's start with abstract. We're going to jump into abstract, and I think I'm going to use, let's try one of the plastic ones, the smaller plastic ones. Now, not everyone is an artisan that has a palette, so I am going to just use a glass plate for now, and because I want to encourage everybody to just use what you have. So we're using a plate. And a plastic ornament, I got these from Michael's, and they are on sale. What we're going to do is use your imagination. Abstract is using your imagination. That just means doing whatever. On my channel, I encourage people to think outside the box and think with their right brain, which means don't think that, oh, I can't do this. This is not good enough. This doesn't look like a flower. This doesn't look like a tree. That's okay. That's kind of what abstract is. So I'm going to start with my pinks, and we're just going to go with it. Be sure to shake your colors. And we are just going to have some fun with some of these colors here on the ornament and just have some fun. And that's what it's really all about, is you just having fun and not worrying about what you're drawing and just making some shapes. I'm going to use a larger brush, and this is a lot of fun for kids. I'm just going to start making some shapes. Maybe some swipes this way. And encourage your children to do abstract things too. Have them draw shapes, and I'm just going to wipe my brush off and not even put it in the water. Encourage your children to draw shapes and then try to make things out of the shapes. I did that a lot when I was a kid. And then I'm going to draw purple right here. Do you see what I'm doing right there? And that's just beautiful already. And what I can do now, I'm going to add a little bit of water there, wipe off my brush, and I'm going to start just maybe going the different direction. Just because I can with my pink. And try not to think too much. And don't worry about whether you're doing the right thing. Just do something fun and abstract on your ornament. And sometimes you end up with something that is really very cool. You can add a little bit of glitter to it. Maybe draw some lines through this. Let's see, I'm gonna add a little purple up here up top. All right, so I'm gonna finish this off. The best thing I could probably do is let this sit and dry for a little bit and then add a little bit of a deeper purple to this. Again, you don't have to rush things. I'm rushing just because I'm trying to show you how you can be free with your art and just have fun with painting with your family, and you don't have to worry about everything having to be exact. Abstract is just having a lot of fun. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is the paint and shake. And I will show you what I've done with this one after I've let it sit and dry a little bit. Now I'm going to take the top off of this and I'm gonna stick it on my stick here and let it dry. Okay, now we're gonna do a paint and shake. So you remove the top, and what you do is you take your paint and you squeeze it into your ornament. And I will show you a couple of examples of paint and shakes that I have done for my family. And I'm going to use just 2 colors. And I'm even going to add some glitter to this one. Just to show you how you can add a little bit of glitter. So I'm using dark blue and light blue, and just gonna sprinkle in a little bit of glitter. And there, some of the iridescent glitter. Oh, a lot, a lot fell in. Okay, so now I'm just gonna hold a little bit of paper towel over the top because this can get a little messy. And then I'm just gonna shake it around. Just kind of move it around a little bit. Get that paint moving around. You can kind of hit it against your hand. And you can already see kind of what it's doing. It's getting that paint moving around a little bit. Looking very cool. I like doing this one. The great thing about this one is you can see from the couple that I have done, the few that I have done, is that you can also take some of the writing ones and you can write on the outside after you've done this and make them special. Make them personal. Now turn it upside down to be sure you get all of that paint to come down. If there are blank spots like with this one and you don't like that, then you can use a little more paint. I'm actually going to add a little more. Just a little more though, because I kind of like the fact that my iridescent, and you sort of target that area. I like the fact that my iridescent glitter is sort of taking over there. All right, be sure you're using good color combinations because you don't want to end up with brown inside there. So use good color combinations. Okay, so I just have one little spot that doesn't have any paint. Okay, that is beautiful. So paint and shake. And again, you can use different color combinations. Now this one I am going to be hanging in order to have it dry. And now we're moving on. Okay, countdown is really quite simple. I like to do countdowns. When my kids were little, I love doing countdowns. Of course, you had the countdown to Christmas and all of that. But with ornaments, you can do it as well. You can keep the ornaments hidden. And if you only want to do a few, like the last 5 days to Christmas, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you can do that as well. And you can do them with ornaments in that you can hide the ornaments and bring them out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's a way you can do it. So with some Elmer's glue and maybe a white ornament, you just take a little glue, very little, and drop it on a plate. And then brush some of the glue. Whoops, there's some purple on here, on this brush. So we get a little bonus here. And we're going to just brush some of this glue all over this ornament. And then we are going to drop glitter. We're just going to sprinkle some glitter all over the ornament. And then I would give this a little bit of time to dry. Once this dries, then you'll be able to paint, either paint or you can use the 3D fabric paint, the 3D paint, whatever you like, to draw a number on it. Now, if you're able to paint a number, that's wonderful. Go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and show you how you can do that right now. Just go ahead and let's say draw a number 1. I do have glue on this, but you can just draw a number on it. And so countdown ornaments. It just gives you an idea of how you can make things a little bit special. You bring them out every year. And it's something that can be fun for your family. The kids look forward to it. You wrap a really special little bow around it. And countdown ornaments. It's just a fun idea for your family. All right, so memory lane coming up next. All right, as we move into memory lane, I want to remind you all what we talked about at the beginning of the video, because we're coming to a close here, and that is really building memories with your family. And that's what this is all about, is building those memories. So what I've done with my children is I have done, every year they each get an ornament. From the time that they were little, they each have gotten an ornament. And now, I have one son who is married, and he has 2 children of his own, and he has all of his ornaments that he has gotten through the years, and he still gets an ornament every year. And now his children will get an ornament every year from their Nana and Papa, and his wife gets an ornament every year, and that tradition will continue. But his ornaments that he received since he was a baby is now, those ornaments now hang on his tree, his family tree. But what I'm trying to say is those family traditions should continue in your household. And memory lane is about building those memories. And what I've done for my youngest son, and I wish I had done this with my other children, but I have started building new memories with him, and that is his successes that he has been accomplishing throughout his lifetime. I have started writing on ornaments. For example, this year, he's a junior in high school and he is the drum major for his marching band. And so everything that he's accomplished, for example, being an ASB, being the drum major, getting straight A's, all of those things I am going to be putting on ornaments for him. And I suggest that you do the same for your family or any children or grandchildren that you have. Not only doing ornaments specific to their successes, but also the ornaments that are maybe individual to them. I know that you can go to Target, you can go to Pier 1, and you can find ornaments that are very individual to people. But how about to their individual successes? So I'm going to do an ornament. I'm first going to write drum major on this, and then I'm going to decorate it. Now, of course, I am going to do a drum on Andrew's, but if you don't have the ability to draw a drum, then maybe go find something that's specific and use Mod Podge and cut out a little thing from a magazine and put it on the ornament and just use Mod Podge. Mod Podge can be made actually using 50% glue and 50% water, and you just stick it on there and Mod Podge it over. It's really very simple to build those memories. So I have this black and I am going to just write on this. Okay, so you get one that's just got a pinpoint, and it doesn't have to be perfect. I am telling you, your family will see your effort. And just write like you're writing on a piece of paper, and use your little pinky as a guide, something to keep your hand steady. And oops, see, I made a mistake. And I can try to fix it like that. Look at that. And if I make a mistake, guess what? It's okay. Ornaments are not that expensive. And if you get a 40% off coupon at Michael's, you can get more. And so look at that. That's pretty awesome. My son's gonna love it, and I'm gonna paint on it. I can paint all around it. I can do something abstract on this. And I'm going to put the year on it. So under here, I'll write something like 2019. And from when I'm long gone and his children and grandchildren are looking at these ornaments, they will be able to look at his Christmas tree and see the memories of their grandfather, their great-grandfather, and remember that their grandfather, Andrew, was drum major in 2019. So remember, it's about building family memories. So look forward to the second video of crafts. I hope you've enjoyed this. And we also have a third video of do-it-yourself gift givings for Christmas. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed crafting with me, and I love you guys, and I look forward to the next video, and I hope you join me. Thank you so much. Shelley signing out. Bye.